Oh yeah, it's that time. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Insider, Parkside look to pick up yet another win on their home turf, hosting the undefeated Kent Island Buccaneers. We have the highlights coming up.
And Smyrna and Cape Henlopen both in search of their first win of the year. Those highlights, of course, later on.
And the Indians from Y-High, where else, look to spoil Washington's homecoming, traveling to Princess Anne earlier tonight. Highlights are straight ahead.
Welcome in. It's Friday night, and that means it's time for Delmarva Sports Insider, the only show giving you in-depth analysis to local sports here across Delmarva. And of course, alongside Jeff Harris and Jonah Restuccio, I'm Julian Sador. And guys, a lot to get to tonight. But first, we got to get to our DSI Delaware Game of the Week.
Yeah, that's right. So we're talking about Sussex Central and Dover, two powerhouses, a battle of the top offense and the top defense.
Yeah, Dover just full of weapons. And guys, Central has only allowed just 3 points in their last two games. So at battle of the top offense and the top defense, as you just said, Jeff.
There you go. Well, guys, let's not just talk about these highlights. Let's be about the highlights. Central looking to continue their winning streak and end Dover's hot streak, hosting undefeated Dover, and it was all Central early. Shaheed Williams gets it off the right side, spins into the end zone.
Yeah, it's a really nice move there to get the scoring going, and that'd be the lone touchdown of the first half. So it headed into the locker room, 7-0 Knights. Second half, a 5-minute opening drive results in Isaac Barnes taking the QB sneak up the gut for the touchdown. Central up 14 on the Senators.
So after a Dover 4-and-out, Central looking to run out the clock, but instead they get another score. Kasim Lewis takes the handoff up the gut, and he goes 58 yards for pay dirt. Golden Knights just pouring it on at this point. So last chance for Dover to get on the board, and Jordan McGee's pass is picked off by Isaiah Barnes, one of the two Barnes brothers, twins, I believe. Central's defense doesn't allow Dover to pass their own 40. In this one, they shut out the Senators, the Electric Senators, 21-0.
Man, it feels great, but our defense won't be like it is right now if our coaches didn't work us like they did in practice, and if they didn't pay attention like they did in practice. And we get in there, we do what we gotta do, we get the work in, and that's all it is. The middle is wide open, the D tackles are shaded over top of the guards. So it was wide open, took it. It feels great, but we're right back to the drawing board on Monday. We got Tech next week.
So guys, really impressive right there. I don't care what level you're at. Shutting out your opponent, never an easy thing to do. Jeff, what did you see that stood out tonight?
Several things. Now, I am shocked, and I'm going to say that right now, that Dover not only lost, but they were shut out. Now, this is a team that has scored over 30 points in each of their first three games. So not only did they lose, yeah, they were on the road, I get that, but they were shut out. That high-powered offense, you have Jordan McGee, as you mentioned, that's a D1 athlete right there. You have Javon Peace as well, your running back, and he's going to play Division I somewhere at some point.
Right. Yeah.
But they were shut out on the road, and I think that big zero is really what stood out to me.
And Jonah, what stood out to you?
Well, let's take a look at a specific play. We just saw it. It's none other than Kasim Lewis on the outside handoff. Lewis, he hits the B gap. He breaks a tackle. He gets some great blocks from his offensive line and wide receivers. He outruns 4 Dover Senators en route to the touchdown that really just put them away. It was some much-needed water after that. I mean, I would be out of gas as well. And take another look at it as he lowers his shoulder and he finds the seam to the outside, heads towards the sideline, and then turns back up. And to reiterate on this point, guys, Central is outscoring their opponents 83-3 in their last 3 games. So not only do they have a strong defense, as they're putting up a lot of points to make up for it as well, a lot in part to that guy and his strong running game.
There you go. All right, Jonah, to give us a recap now of the rest of the games in Delaware, Drew Williams is standing by with more.
Thanks, guys. We'll start up in Lewis, where two teams look to get their first win of the season. Cape and the Smyrna Eagles. And the Eagles haven't lost to the Vikings since 2014, and they're trying to keep it that way early. Third play of the game, Aiden Sanchez connects with Stephen Whaley for 6. Smyrna's on the board first. And then again, check out Sanchez. This time, he's going to air it out to Emin Roberts. He breaks a tackle in the open field, and cue it later. 80 yards later, he's in the end zone. Smyrna takes the 16-0 lead just like that. And then still in the first quarter, it's Whaley again. But this time, he's getting some rushing yards on top of the big receiving night. He takes the handoff, 60 yards for Smyrna. Last year, they started 0-2, and they won every game after that, including the state championship. 3 games this year, already looking like the same script as they shut out Cape 53-0. And over in Laurel, Bulldogs hosting Woodbridge, who's trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. And 2 minutes in, Jamon Kane rushes in to add on to his touchdown season tally. It's already been a nice one so far. But after that, Laurel's lights would go out, so a 20-minute delay would ensue? Okay. And Woodbridge picking up right where they left off. Kane again from the goal line, 14-0 after the first. Laurel, they'd be pinned up on their own end zone. Dalton Purdue with the pass, but it's picked off by Gabe Westcott. Woodbridge, they're back in the win column, 34-24. They take it over Laurel. And down to Delmar, the Wildcats looking for their 15th straight win, hosting Indian River. They're up 42-0 at the half, and they would keep piling it on in the second. Niger Gaines on the option from Dante Trader at quarterback. He's got green grass in front of him, and he busts in for the score. Indian River has their second fumble of the third quarter. It was a big issue for them on the night, was ball security. The Wildcats would take over inside enemy territory, and they would capitalize very quickly. The second team getting some reps, Rajay Allen, only a freshman, and Delmar has talent top to bottom. He's in from 66 yards out, his first career touchdown. Delmar blows past IR 56-0. And guys, back to you for the rest of those Delaware scores.
That's right. We got some more scores, y'all. Other scores from around Delaware. Sussex Tech 15. You see this Appo 19. Tech dropping for the second time this season. And we also see this is a big score right here. Caesar Rodney 53. They were over Polytech 14. Now CR, good start to the year. That's their third win overall. They sit at 3-1.
Lake Forest, they bounce back from a loss 33-22 over Caravel. In Milford, they started the year rough, but they get their second win in a row, this time against Seaford. So a good bounce back win for both Lake Forest and Milford.
All right, guys, so we've seen all the games from Delaware, and if my math is right, and I'm not great at math, but 2 teams scored more than 50 points tonight in 2 shutouts. What stood out to you about Delaware?
I will start here. We already talked about Dover. Still shocked by that, by the way. But Sussex Tech, they were up 15-6 in this game. They go on to lose 19-15. That is a offense with a lot of speed, a lot of power, some great players along that offensive line, a good defense, great coaching, and they gave up those points, those final 13 points to lose this game. It feels like a game that they should have won.
All right, Jonah, what's your biggest takeaway from Delaware?
Smyrna gets their first win. I mean, they did start 0-2 last year, and then they go on to win the state title. Can they do that again? You know, they lost to Middletown, arguably their biggest rival and second best team in the state, or first team in the best team in the state.
3,200 people in that
Exactly.
game.
Wow. It's a big one, and then they go to Maryland and lose one there. So 0-2, the same start as last year. And Drew said it. It's good. It might work out the same way. You know, they might take home another state title. And they take down a Cape team who is obviously struggling. They haven't won a game this year in J.D. Mull's first season at the helm, so a tough start for the Vikings as well.
There you go. Well, a lot of season left for sure, and also a lot of stuff to get to tonight. But unfortunately, it's time to take our first break of the night.
That's right, and we're headed to Maryland when we get back. Stephen Decatur playing host to undefeated North Carolina coming up when DSI returns.
My name is Mike Judy, head coach at Smyrna High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.